So this tutorial is how to use the new vinyl cutter here at school, and this is a basic guide that'll at least get you started. Realize there's many more things you can do once you get used to using this machine. So the program that we're using is up on the left. It's called Vinyl Master. Open it up, and you're going to get to a screen that looks something like this after it loads. Now what you want to do is you want to do a file, new document, and it's going to create a page like this. So this is where you're designing what you're going to print off on the actual machine. You can turn it off so you're working on a blank screen, or you can have it on. It doesn't make any difference. You can also grid it so you can see smaller pixels of what you're doing. And then there's some settings along the bottom where you can change some of the major settings. But for the most part, you can leave those things alone. I like to work with the grid off and the page off. So a few things that you can do across the top. You've got a number of tools, most of them that you're not actually going to use. Some of them are just to create new documents or to build folders to put them in. You can save your work here, but most of what you're going to do is with this tool right here, which is the Send to the Cutter tool. Along the left, you've got options as well. So this is where you can access some different text options as far as what you want to do with text vertically or horizontally. It's got some basic shapes that you can put in and manipulate, and it's even got some basic general clip art or shapes that you can use, and you can manipulate those once you get in. Now it's not only a vinyl cutter, it's also a plotter. So you can also draw within here too, and instead of a blade you can use a pen and you can actually have it draw things out on paper for you. But you can draw right in here as well. And then across the top we've got some other tools, but most of what you're going to use is this one right here called Images. And this is where you would bring an image in and then you would vectorize it or trace the image for you. Now I will say that on the help menu, probably the best thing you could do before using this machine is watch the basic tutorials, because they're going to explain a lot more about how the machine or how this program works. But the rest of this will get you started. So say that I want to make or I want to cut something out on the vinyl cutter. It's pretty easy. You can do text or images, but when you bring an image in, it doesn't have an outline, a vector outline of that image. So what you need to do is get an image, and it can be a hand-drawn image or one that you pull off the internet, but you need to import that image into the program. So I've already saved something out on the desktop, this Makerspace icon. And even though that this icon appears to have hard edges, this is not a vectorized image. These, if you were to zoom up real close, you would see that these are just pixels. And we need to make these into a vector image so that when the vinyl cutter goes in, it knows how to trace the outline of the image. Now that I've got the image in, vectorizing it's actually relatively simple. Go back up to Images and click Vectorize or Trace the Image. And you'll see now that it's going to bring that image in, and it's going to actually eliminate all the white space. Now there's a number of different settings that you can do over here. You can smooth or bring in the corners, and you can play around with those settings, but what that will do will give a more crisp image. But you can leave them at the defaults for most projects. And then you see I'm working with only 2 colors. If you bring in a colored image, you can add colors here so that maybe the image was blue and red and green, but you have to cut them out separately on the vinyl cutter. So you would only maybe select green and have it vectorize the green, and then you would cut that out, and then you would go back in and you'd vectorize just the blue parts of that image, and you'd cut that out, and then you'd do vice versa. So once you're in and you're feeling good about your image, and in this case, just click Trace. And what it's going to do, you can see, is it's going to go in there and it's going to vectorize that image. And it did it rather quickly because this is not a complicated image. Then we can replace image source here with this setting or not. And if we like what we see, we go ahead and click Accept. And now you'll see that what I've got in here is an actual, it's replaced it with an actual vectorized image. So I want to cut this thing out on the vinyl cutter, and I want to make it into a sticker. So now let's move over to the cutter. So we've loaded the vinyl into the cutter, and you can see right here that the best, or where the cutter actually starts, is on 3. So the edge of your vinyl should line up with 3, and this is where the vinyl cutter is going to start. There's clips on the back to hold the vinyl in place. Snap them all the way up to loosen them, and you can move them around. Like if you were going to cut a small piece of vinyl, you would want both of them over here if your piece of vinyl was only this big. But for a large sheet of vinyl like this, I want all three of my clips spread out over the machine. So, once you get the vinyl in the machine, you really want to waste as least as possible. So snap all the clips up. It's at 3, and then you can bring your vinyl all the way back and even it out on this line right here. And then snap them back down. With the machine on, it's always going to use that corner, it's programmed to have that as the back or as the bottom corner of the image. So when it starts, it will slide all the way over and it will cut back to that direction. All right? There's a few things you can do with the top of the machine and some of the settings there. So now I'm looking down at the machine, and what you can do is maybe you want to start and you don't want to start cutting here, but you want to start cutting all the way over here. And you do that to save vinyl. Well, you can turn it offline. You can move the origin over and then click the origin button. And now you've just programmed the machine to start cutting here on the vinyl instead of starting to cut here on the vinyl. So I'm not going to do that for this cut, so I'm going to reset it. All right, and you'll see that my blade is now back to the bottom corner of the machine. So let's go back to our program. I've got the vinyl in the machine. I've got the vinyl all set. I'm ready to go with this particular cut, and I'll go ahead and I'll click the cut icon. Now it's going to give me my sizes. This is a 332 centimeters wide, and it is 223 centimeters tall. I don't think I want mine that big. I'm looking at something maybe in that 100 centimeters range. So I can cancel this, and I can go back in and I can resize my image down from here. Okay, so now you've got your image, you've vectorized it, you've got your vinyl in the machine, and you're ready to cut. So go ahead and click the cut icon on the top. You can see now it's going to tell me this is about 16 inches wide by 11 inches tall, and this is the screen where you would also can rotate or mirror. Now why would you do that? Well, if you're going to have a sticker that sticks on the inside of the window and reads correctly on the outside, you'd have to mirror it. Also, if you were going to have a t-shirt, you would need to mirror that image on the vinyl so that when you lay it out, it's not backwards. So I'm going to use this sticker on the outside of a Makerspace collection bin, so I'm really not too concerned about mirroring. Now when I'm done, I hit cut now. And it's going to prompt me to proceed with cutting. Now when it starts, it's going to start in the lower left. It's going to move all the way across and work its way back. So let's go ahead and watch the machine. And I'll just click yes. Okay, so now my vinyl's cut out, and if you have any excess vinyl, trim it away and keep it, because even small pieces of vinyl can be used for small projects. Now the next process we're going to do is what they call weeding the vinyl. So basically we want to leave the sticker that we want, and we want to take off or out any of the excess from the vinyl. So it helps to have some tools to do this, and in this case I'm using a straight edge. So as you weed, you want to be careful and leave the vinyl that you want on the sticker in place, and then, like I said, take the excess away. And this little tool will kind of help you pick those things out. So you can see here, I've now got my S and my M, and it just takes time, go slow. This is the most time-consuming part of the whole process. Try not to, like I'm doing, get it stuck on itself, and start to peel away any of the material that does not belong on your sticker. Okay, and you can see now that I've got my basic sticker cut out. And now I've got to get my weeding tool, and I've got to go in and I've got to take out any of the little things that don't belong on my vinyl sticker. There's my sticker. Now what I've got to do is I've got to put a medium on this sticker so that I can transfer it onto the item that I'm going to put it on, in which case is a Makerspace Collection bin. So how do you do that? You use the transfer vinyl material. Material on the roll here is what I will now lay over the top of the sticker. I'll smooth it out, and then when I'm ready to place this sticker onto something, I will take the white material away, leaving the sticky side of the vinyl, and then I will rub it over my object, and then when I'm done, I will peel this material off the top. So all you do is get it onto a flat surface, and then you don't want any air bubbles in it. You want to get this material to stick down. And the best way to do this is to actually get it started on a nice flat surface like this, and then grab another roll and use that to help push the material down evenly as you roll across the surface. Now this is a big sticker, and you know most smaller projects that you make aren't going to be quite this big. We also have some squeegee tools that will help. You can see I got a few wrinkles in this one. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal because of the way that it's going to come off. So you're going to do that, and like I said, now I'm going to lay another sheet on to cover my whole sticker. So now you can see I've got my transfer sheet placed on top of my sticker. Now when the time comes to put this sticker on, I will simply peel away the white back of the sticker, exposing, and again sometimes it helps too to have that tool with to make sure that it sticks to your transfer paper. There you go. I'll peel away this back, and now this is the sticky part of the vinyl, and I'll be able to stick my sticker onto something.